Hey everybody. Um, give It's just 8 o'clock, so we'll give everybody a couple minutes.
You're very formal today, Dean.
Well, not laughing, but as many of us get some, I've been through this, but a member at my club passed away suddenly, so
Oh
I was
no.
just at a service and came back and didn't have time to change yet. So yeah,
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, it's not good. He was far too young, but often at those things you're reminded of, curlers come together. A lot of curlers were there, so. You were at 25.
Still 1 minute after.
Yeah. I give everybody a bit of slack. Craig Perry starts his meetings right at 8.
I'm driving, so I'm gonna have to turn off my camera. I think you wouldn't like it watching me drive.
Well, maybe the other drivers wouldn't either. They'd rather know you're.
That's true.
It's all good, though. Thank you for joining us despite being on the road. I'll start just with a few things off agenda while we wait for some others to join. So a couple things I want to make in case you've missed it. Tickets for the mixed doubles trials are on sale. You can find information about that on our website and social channels. So excited to get those um, underway. The other thing I would throw out is just if anybody on the call wants to share any reaction to the Everest event. I think it was pretty well received, just so people know it wasn't our event. It was really driven by Everest, but we certainly supported it with ice techs and getting our teams there, et cetera. So I don't know if anybody's has any feedback on that or what they saw. I saw Matt Sussman write a social post. Ben Hoppy, I think, wrote an article for the Curling News about it. I think that was Ben. I might have that wrong, but yeah, I think overall it was, and I know the USOPC was excited to see, some of the things that could be done with curling ice, and we'll probably share some of those things with potential sponsors as well. So if anybody wants to throw out any reaction to that, go for it. Otherwise, we can jump into the agenda. Now, we do hope, I will say just quickly, I hope that it continues um, next year. I'm pretty confident it will. Mark Duffy from Everest seemed pretty pleased with it. Their ratings were pretty good, so we're expecting it to continue. So, and Lauren Rich just put in the chat a link to it on YouTube for people who don't have CBS Sports or weren't able to watch it. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I think it was fun for the competitors. With that, I'm going to see who else is on here quickly. I'll jump into the agenda. Lauren Rich is on here. She's our member services guru. So I want to start if there's any questions from any of you, either on behalf of your club about the membership process or for individuals. Feel free to throw them out here right now. And frankly, I'd love to hear any questions or issues you may have had so we can address them. Smooth sailing so far. We do have a number of clubs, I guess, so far that have submitted rosters. I think, Lauren, that's correct. I think I just saw a few invoices go out today.
Yeah, we've had 6 so far.
Yeah. There's a hand up. Go ahead, JP.
Hey, this is maybe a very specific question about a specific member issue, but we had a member let us know that for whatever reason, she's listed as active with our club, but inactive with USA Curling. And it seems like there's might have been some wires crossed with her son who participated in a junior event at the club. Just wanted to confirm, like, if she reaches out to Lauren, is that something, Lauren, that you could assist with?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm not sure why she would have a current club membership, but not because we don't kind of monitor club memberships. So we have club affiliation, but not membership. So we don't know if they've paid your dues, I guess. So I'm not sure why she would be showing up as differently current, I guess, depending on which club or which membership we're looking at. But yeah, if she can shoot me an email, I'd be happy to take a look into her profile.
Wonderful.
And see what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I have all the details correct, but I will let her know. I'll give her your email address to reach out and see if you can figure out what might be going on.
So Sarah asked a reminder of the dates for sending in the roster. So if member clubs that send in rosters by November 30th, you'll receive that $5 per member club rebate this year. So November 30th is a deadline for that. Otherwise, your rebate doesn't occur until the following year. So November 30th, the individual membership year now is December 1 to November 30th. So, and club membership, the same thing. Edie, I think, had her hand up.
Hey, Dean. Yeah, and Lauren, this is another question, I guess, for you. Signing up as a coach membership, does that also cover you for a competitor membership, or do you have to then go on and add the competitor membership also?
No.
Yeah,
Or yes.
all of
Go ahead,
the
Lauren.
upgraded memberships include the benefits of memberships below them. So if you have a coach membership, you get the competitor and basic benefits. If you have a silver membership, you get the coach, competitor, and basic, and so on. So if you have a coach membership, you are also eligible to compete with that membership.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much. I thought that. I just wanted to double check.
It's a good question, and appreciate you bringing it up. I mean, obviously, yeah, we're not going to double charge people when they move to the higher level. So yeah.
Or you can get a gold membership and not have to worry about anything.
Anything at all. I was waiting for Brett to throw that in there. And silver and not have to worry about almost anything. So yeah.
Or just a gold.
Yeah. So
that's right, Brett.
Hey, listen, Dean, we got to prop this up here.
Yeah, we would love to move more gold and silver memberships. If you haven't seen, we have added a few more benefits to them too. A lot of them, some interesting ones, including the opportunity with a gold membership to call an end in one of our webcasts and a few other things. So I'd encourage you to check that out.
You should do one of these group calls once a month with all the gold members.
Yeah, just
go talk about a bunch of administrivia.
I just want a bigger group first, Chris, and then we'll do that. Is this? Oh, so this is for Lauren. Asking about being unable to update their email address. And quickly, Lauren, just go ahead, Lauren.
Sorry. Yeah, there are certain fields in your profile that you're not able to make edits to, such as your email address, your I think sometimes your name, your date of birth, and your gender. This is a Sport 80 policy to prevent people from sharing member profiles. So if I just wanted to buy one membership and share that with my 3 closest friends or something, and then we could register for events by changing our names and stuff, they're preventing that. I don't think this is a widespread problem in curling, but this is a concern that Sport 80 has in other sports. So that's why you're not able to make those changes. You can submit a ticket by clicking contact support at the end of or the bottom of the page, and then I'll update your email address to whatever you want it to be.
Thanks. And Lauren's also put in the chat for clubs that don't think they can make the November 30th deadline to receive the rebate, there is a request for an extension. Typically that's been clubs that either open late or later than others, or just had some sort of issue. So, but if you do need an extension, please use that form that's in the chat now. I think that's also, there's a path to that on the site as well, Lauren, right? I think. Or is it in your?
So if not, it's in our house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you, Lauren, but I'll just put all this stuff in chat. You also said that please note that all memberships will lapse on November 30th unless they've already been renewed or auto-renewing. I will just add, if you hear from people who have had some challenges with upgrades to competitor for events that occur after December 1, we had about an hour with Sport 80 yesterday, and I think we have a pretty good process now to solve those problems. So some of it, unfortunately, is Lauren's manual work, but we if you do have people with that struggle, tell them to reach out to us. Edie, did you have another question, or was that just from before? Either answer is fine.
Sorry, that must have been from before. Sorry.
Oh,
Yep.
either, no problem. No problem.
I must be not paying attention. Okay. Thanks, Dean.
By the way, Edie, I met with the folks from the Tahoe Arena at the Best Practices Conference, and following up with them. I didn't realize that arena was owned by the CVB out there. So they were actually fairly encouraging about what they could do perhaps financially. So we'll continue to talk to them.
That's the new event center.
Yeah.
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 They have ice in at the moment because their hockey is going to start.
Right.
About a week. So yeah, so good. Hey, thanks for making contact with them, Darren. Dean.
Yeah.
Dean.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
We were there last night actually, because the hockey team is just getting geared up for their season, and it's a beautiful venue.
Yeah.
I think it'd be well suited for what we might, any sort of curling event might be a good fit there.
Yeah, and we're with the hockey team, just in case somebody else wants to know this, but when there are hockey teams in arenas, we try to look far ahead. We're actually going to be announcing the 26 national site here in the next, probably early next week. But yeah, so we're looking at 27, 28, 29, and that at least gives venues like that a chance to send the hockey team on a road trip. So, but it takes a bit of planning. Any other questions about the membership process?
Casey Ackerman had a question in the chat asking if we have members that join in after we send in the rosters, do we send another update and that rebate would still be applied to next season? Yes. So if you submit a roster later after November 30th for members that joined after November 30th, then that'll get pushed to the 2025-2026 season. Hope that makes sense.
Made sense to me, but if it doesn't make sense to anyone else, feel free to ask. Great. Thanks, Casey. So I guess I will touch on the other tiers too. Just I know Brett has quickly, but like we said, there's youth, basic, competitor, coach, silver, and gold. So those are and clubs can collect all memberships if they want to. I think there are a few that do that. I will say the biggest trend is to collect the basic membership and then let members do the upgrade. But of course, we're happy if you want to if clubs want to collect all memberships. And we're certainly, I will say again, that we're grateful for clubs that do collect member dues from their members. It's certainly, obviously, we know just human nature. If you collect them, then we're more likely to get that member. One thing we are looking at too would be totally optional opt-in thing for clubs. I think we're getting closer to it. I've talked about it probably before, but a one-day membership that would be for provide some insurance coverage, something we could use at Learn to Curls, or you could use totally optional if a club wants to. But we think that would be a good way to, we'd love to get some of the data around all the people, all the Learn to Curls and corporate events, just the pure numbers that go through, and those would be helpful for us. So more on that shortly. I was just talking to Craig Perry today about the insurance piece of that. So like I said, we have had these membership upgrades. I think I wrote update in the agenda, but it should have been upgrades, but we seem to be making good progress on that, thanks to Lauren. Throw it open for just thoughts and feedback. So we have our, really both of these, men's and women's nationals and the mixed doubles trials. And not everybody has to have all the ideas, but if ways we can leverage them more, we're always looking for ways to leverage those events more with our clubs. So if your club has ever, somebody at a table at your club has ever said, it'd be a great idea, this is the time to share it, because we don't have a monopoly on good ideas by any means. Yes, Lauren also added that upgraded memberships get discounts on instructor and officiating courses. They get some discounts in the on merch. So there's a number of things as you go up that make it valuable. We are going to have gold member and silver member pins this year, so you'll get those as well. Mixed doubles trials in February. We're meeting with NBC again next week, but from our contact at NBC, it seems as though we'll have the qualifier games on Peacock, and we'll definitely have the weekend games on an NBC network. So, I think maybe one thing that might be a bit different is we're going to have, we'd love to, of course, one day we'd love to have our nationals on television every year, but we will have mixed doubles on television in February. So something for clubs to think about, that will be on. And if there are ways it'll be Saturday, Sunday. So any ways we can leverage that with clubs to help, get people into your club if you want that, or book private events. We're certainly open to those ideas. Not that we won't have any ideas either. We will have ideas, but great to hear it from all of you as well.
Hey, Dean, Lauren's got her hand up.
Go ahead, Lauren.
It's actually Matt who's got his hand up.
Oh, Matt's got his hand up.
She put my hand up for me.
Got it.
So I was thinking about what you can do to leverage the coverage of, I guess, the nationals and the trials. I'm wondering if it might be a good idea for different clubs to hold watch parties during both of the events, so that people can, clubs can either take pictures or short videos of people watching the game, and then those can be shared on either social media or during the coverage, so that while people are watching it, then they can get little snapshots of all these really cool little places that they want to maybe go to and hang out for a while.
Yeah,
and I would add idea. Even opening those watch parties up to the public, like our club, Bowling Green, is open to the public all the time. Get people to come out to the club and have something to drink and watch curling with us and let us curl-splain the whole game to you.
Just on that, one thing I know at Charlotte, I don't know if there's anybody on from Charlotte, but one thing they do there is on the front door, they have a viewing times sign. So I think some people might see a curling club and not exactly know when they can go there and just watch. So that's part of that. But yeah, I think those are both good ideas. certainly we've done watch parties before, but I don't think really amplified them like that. So that would be a good way to do that. Jeff, I'll get the dates in there in just 1 second, but the national championships are January 27th to February 2nd. Easiest way to remember that is they finish on the Sunday before the Super Bowl. And the mixed doubles nationals trials are February 17 to February 23rd. So I can throw those both in the chat as well. But so I just lost my train of thought there with something, but there you go. Lauren just put that in there for us. Just I was going to mention too, we are this Dale sponsorship is, well, the good news is they paid us, so that's good news. But they're rolling it out maybe a little slower than we would like. But they are, we are working with them and their sales reps. That's another thing that we might be able to. Jeff says host one at one of our local brewery partners. That's probably something we can have Dale's get involved with too. But they are going to be. I'm doing intros to clubs for their reps and their distributors, and we hope to keep ramping that up. We also will have Dale's shot of the week. We're announcing next week how people can submit that. So ideally, it's we don't really care whether it's somebody captures a shot on their iPhone or if it's on the streaming at your club. I know I saw one contender already from Kalamazoo on Facebook, so we're going to have a Dale shot of the week. I think the plan is to do 20 of those throughout the year. So, oh, great! Phil's got people chomping at the bit for shot of the week. So yeah, if you don't have streaming at your club and you see a shot about to happen, grab your phone. If you do have streaming, if you go on the Kalamazoo Curling Club website, they have a great contender for one up there right now. But those are both good ideas for amplifying what we're doing there in January and February. Does anybody have any questions about the Ice Tech training? I'm throwing it all to Lauren here because all membership and Ice Tech training. But we just did another one of those last week that was really well received. I saw the Ice Tech from my club tonight, and he was really happy with it. And then Phil put I think the shot on it's on Instagram as well. That's what the kids are on, aren't they, Phil? The Instagram. Anyways, the Ice Tech training has gone really well so far. Lauren is running one this weekend at Evergreen. If you do want more information about that, one of the things, it's not a cheap course, right? It's $600 plus there's the 99 for the online section. I think what's important to know when we really are encouraging clubs to, support their Ice Techs by funding that. I think what's worth noting is, we spent about $11,000 with the World Academy of Sport, training people, getting the curriculum, et cetera, from World Curling. So it's not an insignificant investment we've made. And then when we do these, we are sending Ice Techs to do them, travel, et cetera. So there are costs for us. So, it's not a $25 course is the basics of it. I do think the reason clubs should consider sending their Ice Techs or one Ice Tech, it's obviously good ice benefits the club quite a bit. And I haven't heard anybody who's done it who hasn't found it really helpful. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, I totally agree. We're just on with Ken from Dale's last week. Yeah, it's we're tiny bit frustrated, but they're really good people. They just have to pull some of that together. They are going to have sponsorship activations. I don't know who you're distributing. If Dale's is in 49 states or something. So there's chances are your distributor, your club has carries Dales, even if you don't see it. They have a lot of distributors. They're either InBev or Miller Coors, or in some places they'll be with a distributor who distributes more craft beers. So thanks, Phil. We will so we just shared with them all the club contact info, but what I'm really waiting for is who we can do soft intros for. Oh, Jeff, your distributor's out of stock of Dales. Once they get up and running, they are going to be a great partner. Edie, your hand's up again, so I'm gonna think.
Yes, and it
All right.
was meant to be up this
This
time.
is legit. All
Yeah,
right.
this is legit. This is unfortunately about Dales because we don't have it here. I've never seen it, but
Yeah.
about the Ice Tech course. How many people typically would you have on one of these courses to run? And are you still looking for venues to run these? That was my 2 questions.
So first on the Dales piece is there will be a distributor carrying it where you are. And I'm going to make a note to talk to Ken specifically about your club and make sure that happens. Phil has a contact too to help with Dales distributors. It really shouldn't be on all of you to track down your distributors. It's really on Dales to get their reps and distributors out there with materials. We're going to kick it off at the Arena Nationals, and we're working on materials for that with them. In fact, what I should probably do is the next meeting, just bring Ken onto this and we can sort some of this out. On the Ice Tech training, Lauren, what's our minimum we like to have? Probably 5 people.
We pretty much max out at 5 people per instructor. It's a really intensive hands-on training, and so it's difficult to manage making sure that we're able to assess everybody appropriately and give everybody the time that they need on all the equipment if you have more than 5 people per instructor. I think this weekend at Ardsley, they had 6. Our instructor there, Greg, has a background in teaching. He was a teacher for many years before he became an ice technician, so he was comfortable adding that extra student. But for the most part, we're capping it at 5 people.
Okay.
So what we like to do, just so everybody knows, is we have 1 instructor per 5 people. So if we had 20, we'd be trying to get 4 instructors, which we have 6 across the country. So
yeah, and one thing also to consider in how that scales is the amount of equipment that's available. So we had, I think, 18 people at the Chaska session, and we had 4 instructors for that. And it worked out nicely because they have 2 different machines. They had 2 different sides of the sheet. So people can kind of spread out and still be using all of the equipment. If we had 20 people at a club that only had 4 sheets and 1 machine, one scraper, I think that would be a lot harder to get everybody the time that they need on that equipment. So there's a few different variables that would go into how big we can make these classes.
Cool. Thank you.
Casey's asking, not necessarily Ice Tech training. Have there been thoughts of hosting virtual options with some sort of Ice Tech piece, I guess is what you're saying. Lauren does host Ice Tech online sessions, hosted at least 1 or 2.
I think her question might be more for like having our instructor trainings virtual. Casey, is that?
The people leading the sessions.
Yeah, Ice Tech, I could totally see it like needing to be there because for that ice experience, but I'm just thinking any of the other like certifications that maybe aren't that hands-on.
Right. Yeah, so we do course conductor trainings. We've done those for instructors for online. The Ice Tech training is not really a great one for that because, the people who are teaching it went through this World Academy of Sport program that's fairly intensive. But there will be some other things we're going to do online. I don't know if anybody knew that we did a level 1 game scoring class at the members assembly. and we are going to roll that out as an online piece probably after we do one more of those in-person sessions in January. So yeah, I think we would love to offer more of online virtual training, Casey. Sometimes it just comes down to a matter of finding the resources to put together those things online. One of Lauren's ideas was to put together a online session about webcast commentary. So yeah, it's difficult to do instructor and officiating higher levels to virtual because there are, as Lauren says, on ice components. But we do virtual course conductor training. So if someone is a level 2 and wants to be a level 1 course conductor, we've done that on with online training.
Yeah, I'm just thinking level 2 instructor courses are very limited.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the kind of natural next level.
Yeah.
That's where I was thinking, like, even if there was something like to submit, kind of like the prerequisite of the current instructor courses. Obviously, this would be post, but yeah.
Sure. Appreciate it. Certainly something we'll add to the consideration list. Chris is saying that
Otherwise, I can understand the admin nightmare that could make too. So
no, I mean, we can resolve that. Chris is saying his instructor certification isn't showing in Sport 80. When did you do the class, Chris? Last fall. All right. No, well, it is a big deal. We'd like your profile to reflect that. So I guess the best thing is, where did you do it? Just so we can look at that list and get you updated. Okay, great. I mean, generally, if you don't see your if it's not showing, reach out to us. I keep saying reach out to us, which means to Lauren, so I'm a little cautious about it, but we'll definitely look at that list. And then Chris is asking if we can see who has done the training. Yeah, we can probably. Lauren's probably shouting at the ceiling at this point, but sure, we can pull that. We'll figure out somehow to do that.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, when we have these courses, there's when you register for the course through Sport 80, it automatically attaches the certification to the course. Unfortunately, sometimes after the course is concluded, we forget to hit the award certifications button. And so that's why, Chris, your certification isn't showing up in your profile. It's in the course. I can see it in the course, but the certifications haven't been awarded. If you can send me who the course conductor was, I'll check with them and just make sure that that there weren't any no-shows or people who showed up and didn't pay or something, so I can just make sure that I award it to the people who were actually there. But yeah, we'll get that awarded to you and you'll see it in your profile.
Thanks, Chris. I'm glad you got the patch. So I will say, when I started my old job with USA Curling, our patch distribution was terrible. So we have a better system for that now. Any other questions around training or instruction or? Can we order new patches? Wait, do you have the old version of the patch, Casey?
yeah.
Sure. So, yeah, send me an email on that. I'm going to take that one versus Lauren. Send me an email about your patches, which ones you have, and maybe just send me an email with a picture of the patches you have.
Okay.
I'll jump into this other piece, the co-branded merchandise. We do have, I think, I don't know if Kenzie is on or not, but we have 2 clubs doing that. Basically, it lets you can order through us using the same vendor we use for our online store, which is they're one of the preferred. They're the preferred vendor of Columbia for custom apparel. But you can, if you want, you can order. You can talk to Kenzie, email mackenzie.carboni@usacurling.org, and you can order, things that are items similar to what we have in our store with the club logo on them and the USA Curling logo. And we price those at a price that lets you, the club, capture some revenue with each sale. So I think we're hoping to get pictures from Belfast. They did it, so you can see what that's like. I know we can be a little relentless with merchandise sometimes, but it has been, we do find it's been popular, so we continue to come up with new merchandise and offer it. I think Bernie's on. He probably bought something else last week, so thanks, Bernie.
I did actually.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah, Vanessa, are smaller sizes available for the co-branded merch? Shoot me an email on that and I'll share it with Kenzie. I don't know how small we go with OCS. They might go a little smaller than what you find on our site, because obviously, on our site, we sometimes trying to juggle sizes, and let me see how small they'll go. Probably the other way too. We should see how we'll see how large they go too.
Dean, do you happen to know when the next shipment of like special order items is going to be?
So it's generally within 4 weeks. Now, Brett, I know you're waiting for yours, aren't you?
I'm waiting for mine from members assembly.
Because I talked to Kenzie about it. So just so everybody knows, even the chair of USA Curling has been shorted on his hoodie. I talked to her about it the other day, and she said, I don't have a record of Brett buying one. So I was like, well,
she took my money, personally.
That's how we like to operate these days.
And
now,
Bernie
Brett.
Bernie saw it.
We just take your money.
I was there.
Chair or not, I'll get on it for you, Brett. We'll get you that hoodie. But in general, for people who don't know too, we're doing some pre-order items, which is basically, we put it out there. Once we get enough orders, we order it. I don't know, you probably, there's some online apparel sites that do that for everything. So it does allow us to test sort of an item that maybe is a little unusual. And also lets us short the chair of USA Curling on his hoodie. So we'll get on that, Brett. At least we know there's no favoritism, right? So other questions or any other new business? Is anybody having challenges with their ice install, or anybody have good stories to share about that? How many people, by the way, is anybody's on this call? Are most clubs, I know arena clubs will operate on different schedules, but are most dedicated ice clubs up and running on this call? Maybe not Jeff Annis at Heather and Mapleton, but most are, I think. Okay, Bowling Green started its ice install yesterday. Started curling in Cape Cod. Ice going in now in Midland. We had a good call, Jill, with the college curling group. Tom Straub says they've been up and running in Nashville for about 3 years. Yeah, that's the good thing about never taking your ice out. So I have my own first league game a week from Monday, so I really need to get out and throw a bit. Yeah, it's a great time of year, really. It's so excited. Any other questions or new business? So if there's something else, just because I sent everything to Lauren, if there's something else, please send it to me. Something else you think about later. Lynette's been in for 4 weeks. Oh yeah, the junior qualifier is this weekend in Madison, the first junior qualifier spiel, where they had the good fortune to end up with 8 women's teams, 8 junior women's teams, and 8 junior men's teams. So draw master's dream there. So that was good. Just so, and the Las Vegas junior qualifier, we're having one junior qualifier in Las Vegas. They have 5 teams so far, which for a Western junior qualifier is a really good number. And we think that will probably go up a bit after the first couple of qualifiers. Oh yeah, Brett's saying because they share their facility with the town, I guess, right, Brett? You can't begin your ice install for a little bit. Just for the record, Bernie placed an order during this meeting. You may not know, Bernie, but I got an email every time somebody buys something. So.
And a lot of them are from me.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, just Phil sold you that shirt with that, putting it in the chat. Thanks, Phil. See, I guess all I'd say is, again, just if your board has questions, or if your club has questions, or you have questions, please don't always feel free to reach out. You don't have to wait for this meeting. Like I said, Lauren's busy in membership stuff, so if it's not membership related, probably kick it to me and I'll get it to deal with it or get it to the right person. But yeah, excited to start the season. Yeah, Brett has a good question. Anything at a future meeting that you would like us to discuss would be great. We can certainly discuss it right now too, but if it requires some more prep and thought. And again, you can also, if you want to get something on the agenda for the next meeting, anytime in the next month, probably the best thing would be to email myself and Mackenzie. You can find all our staff emails on our website. So if you think of anything, we'd love to have it and be able to talk about it on this call. Let's see. Oh, and just Lauren and Matt are on. For people who don't know, Bowling Green is, if you don't already know, they're hosting the Junior Nationals this year. And I think Matt's going to be on the mic a lot for that too, right, Matt?
I've been practicing a little with some of the curling stadium broadcasts, so I'm getting better. But
right, a couple. I've seen your name on a couple, so I'll go back and review them.
Yes, please grade. Be generous.
This is a great question, Chris from Traverse City, asking what software clubs use for league and member management. So we have someone who's been sponsored. Our why am I blanking on the name of their software right now? It's terrible. We only say it a million times in each webcast. Let me help me out there. Yeah, well, Curling Club Manager is one, but there's also the
Warm Room Hero.
Thank
Warm
you.
Room Hero. Yes.
Thank you, Edie. That was embarrassing. I just had a total brain meltdown. So Curling Club Manager is the one I think that a lot use, but I'm maybe slightly biased, but I think Warm Room Hero is a better product actually. Not just because they've sponsored the webcast. I think it might be slightly more expensive, although they offer pretty good introductory rates as well. So that one was started by a curler from Windy City who's now down in Atlanta. So those are. Does anybody else use anything else? Has anybody use their own system. Oh, here's Chris, Day Smart, not curling specific. Yeah. Does anybody else use something that's not curling specific?
At Evergreen, we use Sports Engine.
Okay. Yeah, I think Tom in Nashville saying they use Play Pass. They don't recommend it. I will say Sport Engine, whenever we have debated another platform besides Sport 80, we've looked at Sport Engine, and I will tell you that I don't hear many positive things about Sport Engine from other NGBs. I don't know how it would work at the club level. But I think those are a couple good. Bernie uses DaySmart. If Phil Shryack says Granite has a bunch of Microsoft and Amazon dorks who constantly fight over our systems. So you probably get a new custom one every year, Phil, that then takes a year for everybody to figure out. I would really, suggest take a look at Warm Room Hero, take a look at Curling Club Manager, but Warm Room Hero is US based and a good supporter. Yeah, well, yeah, just the opposite. No one ever wants to change. It is daunting to contemplate changing any platform. So I hope that helped, Chris. I don't know if there's more, we'll bring it up next meeting as well. But I don't know of any other ones, to be honest. All right, so assignment would be, if you think of anything for the agenda the next meeting in November, feel free to send me and Kenzie an email, and we'll make sure it gets on the agenda for the next meeting. With that, I'll give you the rest of your evening back. I don't even know if anybody's a baseball fan, but I'll give you the rest of your evening back for baseball. And we'll meet again on the first or second Wednesday in Liz is going to play a game. That's exciting. Second Wednesday in November. We'll see you again. And don't be afraid to tell everybody about mixed doubles trials tickets going on sale. Mixed men's and women's nationals tickets will go on sale at the end of October. All right. Thanks, everybody.